great footballing days of the year.
Yes, cup action and predictions all the way today.
6th round of the cup.
I think you've got to think, Lucky. You've got to think positive.
For the first time, Coventry are looking at an FA Cup semi-final place.
Well, that gives me enormous pleasure.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Liverpool won, Barnsley 2.
Reardon, what a shot! What a fantastic goal!
It's a great first half, but we've done nothing here. We've got another 45 minutes and we've got to get his mind switched on again. OK, thank you.
Gascoigne, goal!
They say the year with a 1 in it is lucky for Tottenham. Let's hope it continues.
Oh, and he dropped it, the goalkeeper, and that's an absolute dip.
Hey, hands up.
We're home league, it's smashing, but at the same time, people want to win.
And it's Young who made it! Now there's a story for you.
Ryan Club has never been further than this in the FA Cup in over 30 years. 2-0!
Well, I hope it's not as long again.
Barnes. Oh, lovely skill. Oh, what a magnificent goal!
Well, Watford for Wembley, what a thought.
Win or lose, we'll have a booze.
Well, once again, the FA Cup has proved big box office. They all want to get to Wembley.
Hello and welcome to another FA Cup Rewind. We're at Ewood Park, home of 6 times winners Blackburn Rovers. Now, once we get to quarter-final weekend, the prospect of going all the way and lifting the cup is getting ever closer. And over the next hour, we'll bring you 3 classic FA Cup quarter-finals, featuring unlikely heroes, controversial results and old foes going head-to-head. We start with a match from 1985, with relegation fighting Ipswich Town taking on Everton at Goodison Park, with the odds stacked firmly against the side from Suffolk. Howard Kendall's Toffees were league leaders, they were cup holders, and they hadn't lost an FA Cup match at home for 10 years.
Everton, Everton, we're forever Everton.
We go out there and we die for them. We die for Everton. So that's what it's all about. I mean, it sounds a bit corny, that, but we don't want to get beat. Everything about Everton Football Club's geared to success, and we're going to get it.
Peter Reid in midfield. As a youngster on Merseyside, his colour was red, not blue.
I'm a convert, yeah. I can't. I must have been off my head. But that's my dad's fault. He brought me up for Liverpool. And my mum had the right idea. She was Evertonian, so I should have followed her. But I've got it right now.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Everton is the best we all know.
Could you ever imagine yourself as a Liverpool supporter?
No, you may as well ask me to change my religion.
2 teams in this city, Everton and Everton Reserves.
We're Everton, we'll be Everton forever.
And it's sharp!
They all want it now. They're all playing as a team. And, you know, they've scored more goals in the First Division than anyone else, which means they're creating things, they're entertaining. And I think that we've achieved success with flair. I think the Everton public appreciate that.
For the opposition, it was a chance to save their season, as Ipswich captain Terry Butcher explained before the tie.
Yes, we've had a bit of a bad spell, if you could say that, during the middle of this week. Of course, losing to Norwich didn't help, but now we've got the FA Cup to concentrate on. It's a question of trying to stay alive in that competition, and hopefully that will rebound in our league form and we can pull clear of the relegation zone.
For you, going back to Goodison is in fact going back to where you started with Ipswich as a senior player at least.
Yes, it was like April the 15th, 1978, and the crowd was 33,406, and we lost 1-0.
Quite emphatic, that shot from Latchford.
That was the year, of course, when Ipswich won the FA Cup. Where did you watch that final?
I watched the final from the stand with all the wives of the players and the other reserve lads. So we had a celebration in the stand before the players got off the pitch.
And also, going back to Everton is a bit special now because you've reached a milestone, I gather.
Yes, I've been told that I'm making my 300th appearance on Saturday for the first team, which is a milestone for me, and it's nice for my family that I've actually, you know, made that many appearances for the side.
So could Ipswich cause an upset, or would it be business as usual for Everton? Let's see, with Barry Davis.
The welcome for the team at the top of the tree, and in particular for the man generally reckoned to be Everton's most valuable player. Peter Reid past fit, for all the fact that he carries a few scars, And he continues his run of consecutive appearances to 88. Everton's collective strength is surely the balance of the side, particularly in midfield. The Kendall, Ball and Harvey trio of the 1970 Championship side is succeeded now by a quartet, who incidentally between them have contributed 29 goals to the side's total of 84. For their third cup tie in 6 days, Ipswich could reasonably wish for a less daunting task. Steve McCall has recovered from Wednesday's injury, but not Mitch Davray. And what does fate hold for the man who replaces him, Alan Sunderland, who on Monday came off the substitutes bench to score the winner in the FA Cup against Sheffield Wednesday. On Wednesday, missed a golden opportunity which might have beaten Norwich in the Milk Cup. What now? Well, I think it's generally known that Everton have not lost a match in 1985, but for the record, they haven't lost an FA Cup tie on this ground for 10 years. Everton attacking the goal to our left. Andy Gray gets his first touch, and a good one. Scored a hat-trick in the Cup Winners' Cup in midweek. Second one, a typical Gray goal. Dive with his head low at the far post. Paul Cooper. Van den Hauw. Another good nod by Gray. This is Bracewell. Sheedy. Curran really ran into Butcher. He was hoping for a free kick, he didn't get it. And here's Curran again. Oh, well played by Butcher, but the referee has given an indirect free kick for obstruction against the Ipswich captain. Really for the use of the left arm. Judged to have held off Curran. Suddenly found he was back in possession after having an appeal for an earlier free kick turned down. Reid and Sheedy on the ball. Gray and Curran on the far side. So is Stephen, so is Mountfield. He was met by Cranston. That's a test for Cooper. Free kick given against Gray. Got to the goalkeeper first. He claims he won it with his head. One of those terribly difficult ones for referees. But the referee has to give things as he sees them. And Mr. Robinson was ideally placed and said that Gray made contact first with the goalkeeper. Van den Hauw, Curran, Reid. How could he have known that Bracewell was coming? And what a ball to Gray! Handball by Paul Cooper. That was some brilliant play by Everton, because Reid just played the ball into the space and Bracewell made, what, 10 or 12 yards, and Bracewell played it instantly, the ball curling away from the oncoming goalkeeper towards Andy Gray, and Paul Cooper forced to handle outside his area. Sheedy takes and scores! No, says the referee. I didn't tell you to take it. So 2 in the net for Everton and neither counts. George Burley coming forward. The ball's been taken slightly further back and Gates is complaining about that. Well, that makes a change. Sheedy again goes for the other side. Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant! Not unearthly for Paul Cooper. But what a lesson in taking free kicks by Kevin Sheedy. Almost said to Mr. Robinson, I don't mind if you don't allow me to put it in one corner, I'll put it in the other. 6 minutes, the cup holders, the potential champions, the unbeaten side in the country, take the lead. And what a lovely goal. Curran. Ratcliffe to Sheedy. There are some magic moments from Everton here. Stephen. Everything's coming off. Stevens. Gray. Inches over the top. Listen to the noise around Goodison Park. Stevens. Bracewell. Put in came from Putney. Zondervan. Sheedy getting back to force a change of direction. But here's Wilson. That's a good shot! And it goes through Neville Southall, who up till now has been a spectator. Don't think, to judge from Kevin Wilson's expression, that he can quite believe it. But it wasn't a truly hit shot, and it squirmed its way underneath Neville Southall for one apiece. A goal in the 15th minute. And Terry Butcher's side with renewed heart. McCall. Clemson bowling up the hill. Butcher did well. Zondervan! Lovely goal! Lovely set-piece goal. Butcher, the key man in that, with a very good throw. Butcher's flicked header to Zondervan, who shot instantly. And the ball curling past Southall, and Ipswich, who for the first quarter of an hour were on the rack against some brilliant football from the home side, are now in front with 32 minutes gone. Ian Cranston, who took the throw. Got a battle on his hands against Andy Gray, but certainly used his long throw to great effect then. Butcher, Brennan. Putney was flattened by Reid, a little late. Zondervan! And the referee's given a free kick against Sheedy. And that surely will be a booking. Because Zondervan was clear. And Sheedy got his ankle, not the ball. There's George Burley on the ball. Brennan just behind him to his left. Gates the other way. Butcher beaten to it by Gray. And I should think we'll see Gray come back quite often. Offside. Ball was out of play. Putney. And half-time it is. Kevin Sheedy giving Everton the lead. Wilson getting the equaliser, a mistake by Neville Southall. Zondervan giving Ipswich a 2-1 lead. Summarise really that first half by the fact that Kevin Sheedy, so prominent at the start, was in the end the player booked to deny Ipswich a promising chance of a third goal. All credit to Bobby Ferguson's side, who picked themselves up not only from the defeat by Norwich in the Milk Cup, but also by the start that Howard Kendall's Everton made in this match. With his expression, rather sums up their feelings. Started so well, but start the second half, 1-2 down. Wilson. Referee played the advantage, and here's Ratcliffe. And he can't believe it either. Seemed to have got past Cooper. Cooper, with apparent simplicity, just said, no, I'll have it, thank you very much. Reid. Some lucky ricochet. Curran. Gray! No! The goal was yawning. And he stays an awful long time with his hands behind his head. And the front part of his head missed a golden chance. Reid. Reid again. And the referee didn't like that challenge by McCall. it's not a booking, it is a sending off. And away goes Steve McCall. Reid. Stephen. Gray far side. Reid in the middle of the box. Stephen still with the chance. And the referee says no. And the linesman didn't react either. And I must say I find that very difficult to understand, because it was a genuine attempt by Stephen to get round his man, and it seemed to me that he was certainly tripped at the end of it. Otherwise he would surely have carried on. He was so certain he was going to get the penalty. Reid. Yes, he's made the gap. Vanden Hauwe. Yes! Mountfield has done it! The hold on the cup has been re-established. Vanden Hauwe who crossed it, and Mountfield who prodded home, and the defenders have saved Everton. Expressions of huge relief, and on the other bench those of huge disappointment. Well, if Everton and Howard Kendall are to go back to Wembley, they've got to do it the hard way. 2-2 the final score. The cup holders saved by Derek Mountfield 4 minutes from time, and a match which began with some of the best football one could ever wish to see from Everton ends in a battling 2-2 draw, and it means a replay at Portman Road on Wednesday.
Well, all thoughts of that replay were put on hold, with the sad news drifting through that former Everton manager Harry Catterick had collapsed and died at the ground shortly after the match. Catterick had been Everton boss for 12 years, and during that time had won 2 First Division titles. Howard Kendall and his assistant Colin Harvey had both played under Catterick and now had extra motivation to win in memory of their former boss. For the return at Portman Road, Everton were further strengthened by the return from injury of striker Graham Sharp.
Sunderland again. Reid got the nick. Vanden Hauwe. Stephen. Vanden Hauwe moves forward in support. Gray goes to the middle. Bracewell in the inside left position. Sharp on a line with the far post. Harper behind him. That's a difficult one, and Gray makes the challenge and fouls his man. Free kick against Andy Gray. He had one wiped out in the first match, but that in fact was not for his challenge, but the use of an arm by Bracewell. No doubt that the goalkeeper was made contact with before the ball. Brennan goes out to the left, Wilson down the middle, Sunderland the far side. It's got to be switched, I think, and switched quickly. Putney, they've gone back to go forwards. No foul, says the referee. Genuine attempt to get the ball. Suddenly the break is the other way. And here's Trevor Stephen, shooting chance. Off the underside of the crossbar, and out. They looked at the referee, the linesman was level. Stephen hit it so well. Great, good header. Sharp, right up on the back line. Poor cross. Oh, he's given a penalty. Mr. Robinson pointing to the spot for handball by Russell Osman. Well, it was a vicious bounce. And Graham Sharp will take it. Top scorer on the Everton side, 21 he's got this season. The 22nd could be absolutely priceless. And it got through. Wasn't a classic penalty by any manner of means, but is crucial. Goalkeeper got his hands to it, but it found its way into the net, and Everton had the lead. Butcher forward, took two to mark him, McCall. Oh, it hit the post and came away with Southall beaten to the wide. Oh, the luck is against Ipswich.
A controversial game and ultimately a cruel defeat for Ipswich as Everton reached a record 20th semi-final. They didn't go on to win the FA Cup that year, but 1985 would go down as one of the most successful years on record for the club, winning the league and their first ever European trophy, the European Cup Winners' Cup. Our next classic match is from not quite so far back, 2008, with Portsmouth facing the daunting trip to Manchester United. Pompey boss Harry Redknapp had already knocked United out of the cup with both Bournemouth and West Ham, but he admitted this was the draw he'd been hoping to avoid.
I'd be a liar if I sat and said it was a draw that anybody wanted. Draws you didn't want with Man United away and Chelsea away. You go up there and it's so difficult.
Giggs perhaps not, and Rooney!
On their day, they're very difficult to contain.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's got everything. He's 6 foot tall, he's strong, he's got pace, he's got unbelievable skill. Magnificent footballer.
Cristiano Ronaldo has pretty much won this game on his own.
But it's the FA Cup. I think we're a terrific team. We're big and strong. We've got to go up there and prove that on Saturday.
There to find out if the Redknapp Red Devils curse would strike again was Steve Wilson.
37 days ago, Cristiano Ronaldo scored that remarkable free kick against Portsmouth here. 4 days ago, he notched his 30th goal of the season. No one has reached 40 in a season for 5 years. It's in his sights, and so is Wembley. United play their 11th consecutive FA Cup tie against Premier League opposition, making 3 changes. Tevez, Scholes and Hargreaves come in for Fletcher, Carrick and Anderson. Portsmouth, who haven't won here in 50 years, are forced into 1 change. Jermaine Defoe is cup-tied. John Utaka comes into a midfield 5 containing the considerable presence of Muntari, Diop and Diarra. Rooney found Ronaldo magnificently. Cristiano Ronaldo here. Good covering by Distant. It's a very good decision for me by the referee Martin Atkinson. It was a wonderful United break. Ronaldo was magnificently found by Rooney and simply tore away from Hreiderson. Good old defender shoulder charge. Diop. 4 in the middle, Portsmouth. It whipped over the head of Rio Ferdinand, and they needed Vidic behind to clear. In it goes, and it just cleared the head of Distant. Oh, and the spin has put it into the path of Tevez. Here's Wayne Rooney. David James in real problems now. Rooney, Campbell covers. Tevez is there, off the line. Oh, how did Portsmouth get away with that? Glenn Johnson off the line. The bounce favoured Tevez. Rooney looked absolutely odds on. And then Glenn Johnson on the line to block after Campbell had magnificently got back to deny Rooney. Owen Hargreaves. Cristiano Ronaldo ghosting in from the wide position to find Rooney. Good tackle, Diarra. And Rooney then stuck his foot out and got a little bit of Nico Cranchar, and Wayne Rooney's going to get a yellow card for that. The referee's decision, which brings an angry response from the United dugout. Rooney didn't actually make any contact, but he lunged with intent, and that is why he got the card. Tevez, and still. Oh, good try, well saved by James. Excellent play by Carlos Tevez. He had 2-3 white shirts snapping at his heels all the while, but he still got himself into the danger area. Seen late by James, it's a smart save. Manchester United forced into a substitution at half-time. Edwin van der Sar has a groin injury, So he's replaced by Tomasz Kuszak, his first game in the first team since New Year's Day. Ronaldo. Wes Brown with a cross which is blocked, and Manchester United have a corner kick. Just shy of the hour mark, Nani's corner. Vidic, Tevez blocked it on the line, and they can't scramble it in, can they? They can't. Portsmouth have got it away to Ronaldo, who's just off target. Well, you do wonder if Manchester United are going to make a breakthrough when a chance like this goes begging. Vidic with the header, which hit Tevez, and the white shirt scrambled it away, and even Ronaldo couldn't hit the target. Scholes, Hargreaves, Ronaldo, beautifully done, beautifully and wide from Cristiano Ronaldo. How many times have Ronaldo and Rooney linked up to carve open defences this season? And just when you expect to see the ball leave Ronaldo's boot and ripple the net, he is for once off target. Portsmouth seem to have Campbell, Distan and Kincanute at the back today. Such is their skill at stopping the waves of Manchester United attacks. Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney might open up here. Patrice Evra in on goal, behind Tevez. Nani, still Nani. Ronaldo over the bar. Manchester United have missed another one. And this time, Evra is most guilty. Because that pass should have found Carlos Tevez. And then Ronaldo's header is over. Here's Nani. Anderson. Looking for Rooney. Johnson with the header. Sean Utaka lost out to Carrick. Cristiano Ronaldo. Carrick onside, and it's going to go in, is it? It's a scrappy one, and it's off the line. Unbelievable escape for Portsmouth. Ronaldo into Carrick. At that point, he surely has to score. It's an extraordinary let-off. Distan somehow preventing Michael Carrick from scoring. How is it 0-0? Brown. Campbell. More up than out. Two went for it. It's come to Evra! Off the post! My goodness me, they've missed another one. Even the post conspires against them. Sweetly struck by Evra. Did James get a touch? He did. It's a magnificent save. Well, Portsmouth have put themselves on the line here to hold on to their cup lives. Vidic, Carrick, Anderson, Paul Scholes, Nani. Oh, and it's away by Campbell, just as Cristiano Ronaldo was ready to put it in the net. Ronaldo was poised to tap in his 31st of the season. Quite brilliant from Campbell. Nani to take the corner kick in front of a gaping, yawning Stretford end. James comes and gets a fist. Nani. Diarra fouled him, it'll be a free kick. Nani's delivery, James takes and looks downfield for Milan Baros, and Portsmouth have two up here, and it's Nico Kranjčar, and Baros is square if Kranjčar can find him. It's Baros for Portsmouth. He's brought down, it's a penalty kick, and it may well be a red card. It is. Kuszak is sent off. Manchester United haven't got another keeper because Kuszak was the sub-keeper, and Portsmouth have a penalty to knock maybe Manchester United out of the FA Cup. did Barros leave his leg in and make sure it made contact with the keeper. United left themselves 2-on-2 and have paid the price. Out came the keeper, down went Milan Barros. The referee has given it, and he's given a red card to the goalkeeper. Rio Ferdinand, the captain, will put on the shirt and put on the gloves and face Sully Muntari from 12 yards. Portsmouth could be about to book a place in the FA Cup semi-final. It could not be more dramatic. Sully Muntari against Rio Ferdinand, standing goalkeeper. Muntari scores! Ferdinand went the right way, but Manchester United are behind and down to 10 men, and there are 12 minutes to play. Ferdinand was close. But Kuszczak could only watch and wonder whether he has been harshly dealt with. Manchester United teetering on the very edge of defeat. And it's Ronaldo, and it's Scholes, and Distan away. Referee has another look at his watch. Vidic. Michael Carrick. Carrick in. Ronaldo beaten by Campbell. And it's Portsmouth into the FA Cup semi-final. And the treble has gone for Manchester United. And Portsmouth have won one of the most extraordinary FA Cup ties you will ever see. Manchester United 0, Portsmouth 1.
50 years Portsmouth have gone coming here without a win. I mean, what a time to end that run.
Yeah, but it's been one of those years, you know. They said that we went to Newcastle this year and said we hadn't won there for 200 years or something. And then we went to Aston Villa and hadn't won there since, I don't know. And then it's been one of those seasons. Then we hadn't won so many away games and we hadn't done this. But that's 12 away games we've won this year. So it shows you something about the character of the players. They're fantastic.
You've been a manager for about 2.5 months, I think, when Bournemouth knocked Manchester United out of the Cup all those years ago.
Right.
And here you are in a semi-final.
Yeah, long time ago, and I loved it that day, and I'm enjoying it today. So it's great. It's great for the fans who are still up there. They've got a day to look forward to go to Wembley and hopefully go and get to the final this year. It'd be lovely for the club, and you know, let's hope we can do it for them.
So another win over Sir Alex Ferguson for Harry, and that result spurred Portsmouth to go all the way in the competition. They beat West Brom at Wembley in the semis and went on to lift the cup for the first time since 1939 with a 1-0 win over Cardiff in the final. For our final match, we journey back to 1993 for a tie between Derby County and Sheffield Wednesday. First Division County were experiencing an up-and-down season, and their form was somewhat under the microscope, having received £10 million worth of investment from then Vice-Chairman Lionel Pickering. Plenty then expected of players such as £2.5 million signing Craig Short.
Must be half a dozen players here who've cost more than £1 million, and you know, most of them are sort of 21, 22, and we were dubbed favourites straight from the start by all the tipsters and all the football managers saying Derby will storm the First Division. And it hasn't happened. You know, there is quite a long way to go. If you win the next 2 games, if we win on Monday night and then win our next couple of league games, people start talking about us going to the FA Cup final and then winning, you know, getting promotion into the Premier. So, you know, 2 weeks is a long time in football.
When you've heard Joe Mercer and Stan Cullis and Joe Harvey, Jackie Milburn, when you've heard them talk about the FA Cup and you've seen the tears in their eyes and all this, you realise it is special. Make no mistake about that.
Sheffield Wednesday, on the other hand, were establishing themselves as one of the country's top sides, having finished third in the league the previous season, and they'd beaten Manchester United in the 1991 League Cup final. The Owls were hungry for more cup success, and this time were chasing Wembley finals in both the domestic competitions. Travelling to the baseball ground to see if the Rams could summon up some cup magic of their own was John Motson.
5 times in 7 years, these two clubs have been paired together in major cup competitions. And in their last 2 FA Cup meetings, it's been Sheffield Wednesday who've come out on top. Well, tonight, a capacity crowd of 23,000 paying record gate receipts here at the baseball ground. Wait to see if Derby can make it 3rd time lucky. But more important, perhaps, football hopes that all the fans, 15,000 seated, 8,000 standing, 2,500 from Sheffield, will be on their best behaviour. Now the team news. Well, Derby welcome back Mark Pembridge and Martin Cool after suspension. They're still without Darren Wassell and Ted McMinn, who are injured. Number 5, Craig Short, is their lucky mascot in the Cup. He's scored in every round. And as a team, Derby have scored a total of 90 goals in 48 League and Cup games this season. Sheffield Wednesday, meantime, have scored 80 in 44 games. They have Viv Anderson at centre-half and captain, with Pearson and Shirtliff both injured. Danny Wilson is back in midfield. Warhurst and Bright continue up front. With David Hurst's injury having cleared up, he could be in contention for Sunday's Coca-Cola Cup semi-final against Blackburn Rovers. And the referee tonight is Gerald Ashby of Worcester. And one man savouring the atmosphere tonight, Trevor Brooking.
Well, it's a tight little ground, and although you said 23,000, it sounds like double that. Two good footballing sides, full of goals. We should be in for good end-to-end stuff, I would imagine.
Sheffield Wednesday playing from left to right in the yellow and black stripes. Here's Chris Waddle. And that's Warhurst. Number 3 there was Forsyth for Derby. Long kick by Martin Taylor, headed on there by Gabbiadini for Kitson, and Gabbiadini's got it back, taking on Nigel Worthington. And he got it into Kitson, and away by Nilsson, and back in by Gabbiadini.
Terrific work by Gabbiadini, pushed the ball past Palmer and then tackled Worthington and got the cross in, and in the end it was a good clearance at the far post by right back Nilsson.
That's Mark Bright, and a free kick given, foul by Forsyth. Forsyth's playing in centre defence because of the injury to Wassell and the suspension of Simon Coleman, so Bright is the player who he's marking at the moment, while Warhurst gets picked up by Short. And there's Bright with the flick on, and it was John Harkes, the American, who came in for the volley. Have you seen much of him, Trevor?
Well, he's a very versatile player. I mean, strangely enough here, he's playing on the left side of midfield, although that enabled him to hit that shot with the right foot, but he can play full-back at any of the midfield positions, and of course is one to watch for the World Cup in '94.
It's Gabbiadini challenging Anderson here. This is Tommy Johnson. It's away by Sheridan. Now, back again by Nicholson. And they didn't like the push by Paul Williams. He sent a Sheffield player, Nilsson it was, right into the boards there, and the Sheffield players, in my view, overreacting. That won't help to calm it down. Only the referee can do that. It's certainly a little shove, but I don't think Williams intended that Nilsson should turn into a gymnast. It's the Rams against the Owls in the 6th round of the FA Cup, and that's a foul by Kitson on Harkes. Up goes Bright. This is Warhurst. It's going to come to Chris Waddle. Warhurst again. Oh, and a penalty! Bright who was fouled, and two Derby defenders went towards him. Bright went down, and the referee, Gerald Ashby, pointed straight to the spot. Short is one defender, and Patterson was the other one, number 2, Trevor.
Yes, Paul Warhurst dummied to leave it. Went through then to Mark Bright.
It's going to be Sheridan with the kick. Scores right up in the corner, although, to be fair to Martin Taylor, he went the right way. And Sheffield Wednesday have the lead here in the 6th round. Number 11, John Sheridan, plants it away from a very good dive.
Well, he just got a fingertip, didn't he? It'd be frustrating for the goalkeeper because it was a nice height and just having got close to it, but sufficient power to end up in the back of the net. Going back to the penalty decision, though, that...
It's Gabbiadini, but the flag's up. Yes, by all means, go back to it.
Yeah, the penalty decision, I mean, Warhurst let it run. It went through to Brighton. I thought Patterson then tried to make contact and actually was withdrawing his leg when Mark Bright then went over. And, you know, be interesting, as you can see, it going through here. The leg then just goes out. He pulls away, and then Mark Bright goes down, looking as if actually he did capitalise on the situation.
There were words exchanged between the two players when the decision was given. There's no question about that. Well, the free kick's gone Derby's way. Viv Anderson tried to delay it being taken. It was given for a foul by Anderson on Gabbiadini. And as the Derby players tried to get the ball away quickly, Anderson stood there, and he's going to be booked for it.
Yeah, he put his foot up to stop the quick free kick. I must say, I thought the referee might have played advantage, because you can see Johnson here's got 1 against 1, but he picked the ball up, thrown it, then to try and get it back, and Viv Anderson's put his foot in, and the referee's booked him.
So it's a free kick to Derby, and they'll be wanting to make something of this, because up to now Woods has been virtually untroubled. This is cool. And now it's Nicholson, who's got a good left foot. Oh, it's in! Nicholson has hit the bar, and it went in off Chris Woods. Shane Nicholson has sent the baseball ground into ecstasy here. And the England goalkeeper, I suppose technically, put it in the net himself. Nicholson, once at Lincoln, has a very good left foot, and he used it here to drive that shot against the bar. Now look what happens. I suppose we have to call that an own goal.
Terrific strike, wasn't it, though? Was dipping just under the crossbar, then caught the back of Chris Woods-Hill. Very unlucky, although Paul Kitson was following up, and I think would have side-footed home anyway.
Bright, Warhurst, 2 to his left, one of them is Sheridan here, and Sheridan tries from the edge of the area, but it was a good move. Warhurst to Sheridan. I think it was the tackle he didn't like. Oh, Pembridge, I think, may have made contact with him. Oh, it's a lovely turn by Bright. He threw for Scythe completely. And he's got Warhurst in the centre, and Harkes coming up as well. And Warhurst doesn't quite make contact. If it had run on to Harkes, there would have been an open goal. And Derby had a real escape there. Good piece of play by Mark Bright. Johnson. Oh, and now Palmer gets mixed up with Anderson. And here's Johnson away from Worthington, not quite. And Woods has to go and look for it himself.
Well, looked as if Worthington had been caught in two minds, decided to let it run. He did very well to get back and block Johnson's shot.
But Wednesday are trying to compress it in there. This is Paul Williams. Now it's longer. That's what they wanted over there. Johnson. Good challenge, Roland Nielsen. Waddle. And they've made the run. Ooh, when he was onside too, Warhurst. Harkes. Gabbiadini blocks from Palmer. Waddle, Warhurst going through the middle, and this is Warhurst for Wednesday, and it's 2-1, and the goal taken by Warhurst, this converted centre-back who's been one of the sensations of the season, but made by Chris Waddle. It was so quick, if you blinked you'd have missed the pass, and frankly the Derby defence did. Warhurst scores yet again, but the ball played by Chris Waddle is so instant, he's split them in half. He's onside, Martin Taylor stands up, but Warhurst tucks it past him for his 15th goal of the season.
It was so simple, wasn't it? Beautifully weighted pass by Chris Waddle, and Warhurst, his pace took him away from the defence and slotted it home.
37 minutes gone in the FA Cup 6th round. Derby County 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2, and the Warhurst story goes on. Here is Bright. There goes Harks. And Derby County will be probably quite relieved to hear the half-time whistle. This FA Cup tie, Sheridan gave Sheffield Wednesday the lead from a penalty. It's going the way of the Premier League. Nicholson's shot thundering back off the bar, off Woods and in for the equaliser. And then the Premier League side regaining the ascendancy with a goal by Paul Warhurst. Well, I understand there's one gentleman in Inverness who's got something like £54,000 riding on this result. Had a 10-match accumulator and forecast 9 correct up to now, and he wants Sheffield Wednesday to win. He could be in for a fairly tense time if Derby do the business in the second half. There goes Warhurst with Short, and that wasn't very convincing by the Derby centre-half. He's all over Warhurst at the moment. Play on with the advantage, Harks. Square of him is Danny Wilson for the shot. Just ran into 2 Derby players. Harks again, offside, Bright. Long time since either of these 2 clubs won the FA Cup. Derby, their only success the first year after the war, 1946. Sheffield Wednesday, you need to go back to 1935. Didn't seem to get that one through. He might now. It's Gabbiadini. Pembridge. Williams. Well, it's a good effort and a good save, but there was a man to Williams' left who wondered why he didn't get the ball. Easy from here because Williams knew the shot was on. It was Tommy Johnson, actually, who was just outside him here.
He shapes to play it, and I think just try to catch Chris Woods wrong-footed. He just did lose his feet, didn't he, as he pushed off Woods.
And Warhurst again shows great speed and puts a lot of strain on Short. Kitson. Gabbiadini. Kitson goes again. Palmer. Very solid in defence so far, the Premier League side. Short goes forward, perhaps to try and unsettle them. Patterson. Owen Williams got ahead of Woods, and Palmer has to concede the corner. The England goalkeeper not comfortable there.
Well, it could have dropped anywhere. You see this long cross as it comes out. Chris Woods goes to catch it, misses it. Unfortunately for Sheffield Wednesday, it's Palmer who heads it away. Sheffield were able to play it in a controlled, composed manner in the first half. Now they're being hurried, giving it away themselves, and Derby County, I'm sure the players feel very much in this game, and Roy McFarlane and Arthur Cox must be delighted with the improvement in the second half.
Kitson. Oh, it's Gabbiadini. He's got away from Palmer. Oh, what a good finish. It's 2-2, and Gabbiadini scores a brilliant goal. The home fans celebrate, and Derby equalise for the second time. Marco Gabbiadini, and it's the first time Carlton Palmer's been bypassed, and how he was punished.
Magnificent finish, just got the knock on, very strong, wasn't he? He held off the challenge, rocketed into the back of the net, and he's been Derby's best attacker, and I think Gabbiadini's deserved the goal.
20 minutes to go in this 6th round tie, and absolute delight for Gabbiadini and Derby. They've fought an uphill task for long periods in this game, but they've never given in, and now for the second time they've said to Sheffield Wednesday, you've got it all to do again. Well, what a knife edge it's balanced on now. Almost for the first time in the match, you really feel Arthur Cox's team are in charge. Anderson, Hyde. Waddle takes over again. Kitson intercepts the pass. Oh, Derby have got a spare man, but the pass wasn't going to find him. It's end-to-end now. Anderson. Bright, Hyde. Wilson. Waddle. Williams. And look where Waddle was chasing back. He's really got stuck into this cup tie, Chris Waddle. Forward by Cool. And Gabbiadini, Johnson, Pembridge is following up here. Oh, it's Pembridge. And he's got Nicholson outside him. Nicholson's cross. Kitson! Yes! Derby are in front. Kitson the scorer. And after twice being behind, they lead 3-2. And the lad on the left, Nicholson, whose free kick brought the first goal, supplied the cross for this one. It's Pembridge outside, but Shane Nicholson, that's a lovely measured cross with his left foot, and Kitson sends it in.
Well, that was the best move of the evening for Derby. I mean, a lot of subtlety there. First Pembridge, then Nicholson, a lovely hanging cross, and Kitson from 6 yards gave Woods no chance.
13 minutes left. 3-2 to Derby, having been 1-0 down and 2-1 down. There's Bright, here's Warhurst with Short. Oh, and Short's missed it! And Warhurst should have scored, perhaps, but what a good bit of goalkeeping. I think the flag may have been up. Or was it an elbow, Trevor?
I think the referee signalling that he felt Warhurst nudged Craig Short as they were going for it. I mean, it's the pace of Warhurst which always causes problems. I'm not too sure that that was a foul, and credit to Taylor, but in fact the referee had pulled it back. But on this occasion, I must say, I thought it was Warhurst. He doesn't look pull him. I think it was just he lost his balance. Unfortunately, the goalkeeper saved him, but the referee would have done anyway.
Now, a second substitution by a somewhat desperate Sheffield Wednesday. They've got to get Jensen on, and John Harkes is being sacrificed.
Well, John Harkes has done nothing wrong. He's more of a competitive left-sided midfielder, and of course the extra striker is needed. Jensen comes on, and you know, I wouldn't rule out a goal, and I wouldn't like to say which end it will come though, because Sheffield Wednesday will push in extra men forward, and Derby will be looking for that counter-attack.
This is Jensen, and it's going to come back on them yet again with Anderson. Hyde, but Williams got a foot in. Now it's Palmer for Wednesday. Thundering through himself, wide to Jensen. Palmer's up there in the penalty area. And Warhurst caught Patterson and went out for a corner. Up comes Anderson from the back. Short to Waddle. Now, if Derby played this right, the break is on. It's Kitson with two to his left, and he was looking, I think, to try and get Tommy Johnson in, but he hadn't made the ground up on the far side, and it was a shorter ball that Pembridge couldn't reach. Instead, it's Jensen. Hyde. It's a great position for Derby that went begging there. Waddle instead for Wednesday. Looks for Jensen. Oh, Warhurst! And it's 3-3. And Warhurst gets his second, and Derby hang their heads. And really, they threw that away by not making the most of an opportunity at the other end that would have possibly given them a chance for 4-2. And you can't take liberties with the Premier League teams like this. Jensen crosses, pulled back beautifully. Warhurst an assured finish.
Terrific finish, but what a pass by Chris Waddle. Destroyed the Derby defence. Superb.
3 each. And now we're back level again with, what, 5 minutes to go. Now here's Waddle again. He's had an outstanding night again. And he's taken them on again, Waddle. That was a bit of a fall, I think. He didn't think so. Look at that. Well, the linesman was very close, and neither he nor the referee reacted. Am I doing Waddle an injustice here?
It gets tugged back outside the area, and then a second one, and I think it was the way Chris Waddle went down, convinced the referee that it wasn't too much, but he was getting a little tug back.
Warhurst is waiting there with Bright as Worthington takes this kick. And it's a replay on Wednesday week at Hillsborough. 2 goals by Warhurst for Sheffield Wednesday in a match which went first one way, then the other, then back again. And generous applause. Both teams at stages in the evening had their chances to get through to the semi-final. Kitson put Derby ahead at 3-2 on 74 minutes. But Warhurst equalised with 6 minutes to go, and Sheffield Wednesday, who were twice in the lead themselves, now have home advantage in 9 days' time. If there's been a better cup tie than that this season, I don't think I was there.
Well, I thought when we went 2-1 up, I thought we were in control. Half-time, we were quite comfortable. But the way they came out in the second half, Derby, it was only a matter of time before they scored. We did our best to try and stop them from breaking through, but they just kept coming and coming. The equaliser came, and when they went in front, I knew I had to do something pretty quickly. And I think that Nigel Jempson's contribution shouldn't be overlooked, because I felt that he changed the game.
I felt that maybe we were a little bit overawed by what was going on, and they'd completely dominated the first half, didn't they? We just didn't have the necessary know-how in terms of experience and matches, and we didn't have sufficient scars and experience of seeing those kind of circumstances when, come on boys, we've got our hands on it, this is it, we ain't going to let go of this. And obviously, unfortunately, they've got back in it, and it's 3 apiece now. We've got to do it the hard way, haven't we?
I'm sure it was a great game to watch on TV, for the supporters as well in the stadium. It wasn't that good to play in, but it was, it was the right result.
You can't stop scoring goals, it seems.
No. I've not scored the last 2 games, hopefully this has made up for it tonight.
The two sides met again in a replay at Hillsborough, where Derby hadn't won since 1936. And that run continued as Wednesday triumphed thanks to a single but pretty spectacular goal from that man again, Paul Warhurst.
Warhurst closing in here. Oh, good touch! Brilliant! Warhurst! He's there again!
What happened next for Wednesday was one of the most memorable days in the club's history, as they won at Wembley in the semi-final against local rivals Sheffield United.
Bright! And in the end, the easiest goal you could wish for. And where was the man marking him on that post? Sheffield United's run comes to an end. Sheffield Wednesday are certainly getting to know Wembley. And it's the blue and white of the centenary city of Sheffield which celebrates.
Further proof that the FA Cup creates unforgettable memories for fans, players, managers and whoever else finds themselves at the heart of the competition. And we'll take another dip into its rich history very soon. Goodbye.